And good afternoon, everybody. NFL coverage coming to an end here on 8 News Now as the Dolphins take down Las Vegas's Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the Browns. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us right here on 8 News Now and Sports Wrap. I'm Chris Maathuis.
Dorian got some time there at the end of that game to play a little bit, certainly. But I'm Ron Futrell. Hi, everybody. The Raiders were on the road in New Orleans today, and we got former NFL quarterback Jeff Garcia with us here today. Veteran quarterback, a 4-time Pro Bowler. We can go down the list of teams best known for the Niners and what you did there. And we're going to talk about the Bay Area a little bit. You're from there. That's and the right. Raiders here in town. But how about that? The Raiders get back-to-back wins for the first time this season. You don't want that to happen week 17. Yeah.
Well, it's ruining their draft pick. But, hey, that being said, it just shows the players are still competing, still giving it their all, preparation throughout the week. The coach is getting them to do the right things and going out there and competing and winning football games. That's the key right now.
Let's jump into that first half. What, in 6 weeks from right now, the Super Bowl will be played inside the Superdome there. But Raiders and Saints, and Raiders get down to that red zone, Jeff, and once again, 4 plays from the half-yard line, and they got to settle for a field goal.
You got to get it in the game. You got to get it in the end zone, obviously. I mean, you got to utilize play-action movement of the quarterback. They're trying to run it down the throat right there against an 8, 9, 10-man D-line defensive front that's tough to get in the end zone.
And then it gets worse here as the quarterback gets.
You never want to twirl. You never want to twirl in the pocket, man. Attack the line of scrimmage if you can. At least they get 3 out of it.
That was a 17-play drive, longest drive of the season at 9 minutes 11 seconds. But then on a little trick play, here come the Saints, and to a former Las Vegas Raider.
Oh, that's right, Foster Moreau makes that catch, but. Stay with your guys. When you're a defensive back, you got to stay with your guys, right?
Well, a little trickery caught them by surprise, obviously, and guys just lost track of who they were guarding and what they were supposed to be doing defensively.
Another field goal for the Raiders. There were lots of field goals. We can show you field goals all day long. What do you have, 5? Derek Carr there on the sidelines as he is out with a busted-up hand, so could not play in this game. So Spencer Rattler was the guy out of South Carolina through Oklahoma. And Derek Carr, of course, former Raider.
Did you ever know him, Jeff?
I've not met the Carr brothers yet. I know they're out of the Fresno area or at Bakersfield, the Central Valley, but hey, he was a good quarterback here for a lot of years with the Raiders.
And right here, this is the pass play from O'Connell to Brock Bowers, and with that play right there, he becomes the all-time rookie king for tight ends, breaking Mike Ditka's record that was set way back in the 1960s. So here's another replay of it, but this guy's unbelievable.
No, this guy, I knew coming out of Georgia, this guy was a beast of a player and just phenomenal for the Raiders and showing that he is worthy of his first-round draft pick.
And with that reception there, he ties Puka Nacua for rookie receptions by a receiver. Puka just set that last year. He's only in his second year. Some great wide receivers and tight ends in the NFL right now.
Oh, absolutely. The athleticism of these guys, especially at the tight end position, has picked up tremendously over the last decade.
And Jacoby Myers right before the end of the half with just under a minute left. They finally score a touchdown here, and they get on the board. O'Connor, you got to be pretty happy with these guys. So they go into the second half with the lead, and in that second half, the Raiders defense shut out the Saints.
Yeah, it was 16-10 at halftime, and then from there, that's when Robert Spillane, he's been one of the heroes on this defensive in linebacker position for the Raiders this year.
Oh, and right there, now he breaks Puka Nacua's mark. So he tied it, now he breaks it. Brock Bowers, this is really a record-setting day for that big tight end.
Bowers,
and he's going to have a long, long career.
Yeah, he's just fun to watch, and like you said, Jeff, it's interesting that tight ends are getting not just big lumbering guys that can block. They can do that too, but he's fast.
Well, the expectation now for tight ends is to get them out in space one-on-one on defensive backs or strong safeties and really actually create a matchup opportunity in your favor.
All right, and here's another. Now with this catch, we mentioned Brock Bowers.
We keep showing Bowers.
I mean, yeah, because now he becomes the Las Vegas Raiders' all-time reception king, passing Darren Waller. So it was really, and all season long, it's been a Brock Bowers season. And then you got the touchdown here late to Trey Tucker in the corner of the end zone. But this is a nice pass on Jeff.
Well, good job by O'Connell of keeping his eyes down the field, buying time, getting outside the pocket, and making a great throw into the corner of the end zone.
There wasn't much room there for that to fit in.
No, he did a nice job of giving his player an opportunity. That's a big hit right there.
Raiders defense continues to do the job in this game and shut down really a struggling New Orleans Saints team that's had half their skill players are all out. Taysom Hill, you've got Derek Carr. We showed him on the sidelines. Out.
Really, doesn't it seem like, Jeff, I say this, but this, by the way, this right here, this hit by Polamalu he's the AFC Player of the Week in the NFL, and then you got the pick, and of course the end 25-10 was the final score. But Jeff, doesn't it seem like in this league anymore, it's kind of a league of attrition? Whoever is the most healthy at the end of the year could get into the playoffs and maybe win the thing.
It is true, and you hear teams like, we'll talk about the 49ers, who have gone through their injury problems, but every team, a lot of teams are going through injury issues throughout the season. And you're right, the teams that are able to keep, for the most part, their key guys especially healthy are the ones still battling at the end of the year for playoff berth, for position in the playoffs, and extending their season.
Is it tough for the players? Been on a team where fans are sort of saying lose to get a good draft pick, but you still got to play. You play for position. You don't play half speed.
Yeah, I think that's what players hopefully have the makeup personally, that I'm playing for my job. I'm playing for an opportunity, whether it's here with this team currently that I'm with or with another team. If I get released, I'm showing that I'm not hanging it up early. I'm still competing at a high level. I'm coming in every single day preparing as if my job depends on it. And I mean, it really does for some of these guys, especially coaches as well as players, especially some of the higher dollar players who are on struggling teams.
Well, that's one thing that Antonio Pierce has done this season, Ron and Jeff, is keep those players motivated, excited for the future. Let's listen in after that 25-10 win over the Saints, what Antonio Pierce had to say after the game.
Again, I've been saying it. It's a word that every coach talks about, players, and everybody uses it, and it's cliche, it's a process. And just staying true to it, you know what I mean? And just, you know, these guys really buying in, especially late in the season, the way it's gone. But I really, man, it's proud of these guys, man, because it's not easy being in that situation that we're in, and a lot of guys can go either way, right? They can go the opposite, and they have not. They've kind of stuck to the script, and then obviously these young guys really playing their asses off.
Another game where Aiden made some plays with his feet. With that throw to Trey Tucker, bought a little bit of time. Can you talk about his match?
I thought just overall, man, throughout the game, him just going through his progression, very calm in the pocket, didn't have happy feet. Really a credit to the O-line of protection. I believe he only gave up one sack, and could have probably got rid of that ball. But for the most part, man, that group overall has really bought in. You know, we talked about continuity amongst the five. Now, second week of them guys playing consistent football, both in the passing game, protection, and in the run game.
What have you seen from Abdullah the last few weeks?
Man, found the youth. I mean, hell, I call him a ski mask, man. It's kind of amazing. I think me and Will talked about that was his first 100-yard game in his career, and to do that at 30-plus years old and kind of thrown in the fire late in the season, man, really hats off to him. Really resilient player, true pro. He's been that way throughout the time. Obviously, we asked him to be a special teams player and returner, and then he gets his opportunity to start today, and I mean, he made the most out of it. Really some gritty runs on third down, and he's been a big factor in our passing game, and can't speak enough about him. I call him a ski mask man because that's his deal, man, and he's, you know, the team really rallied around players like that. You know, we don't have a lot of veterans, and to see him come out and really get his first 100-yard game and a victory is really good.
How much enjoyment do you get out of, you know, coaching a guy like Brock Bowers having the historic season that he's having? Just not only just seeing him do what he's doing, but just for you as a coach knowing that you kind of aided in the process.
Yeah, no, listen, he's just, like I said from day one, he was special when he walked in the door, and he was special again today. Doesn't want no attention. The team tried to grab him at the very end, and he want to break down the team in a team huddle. But all he cares about is winning and smiling. I mean, he can break records, but just watch him at the victories. That's the true Brock Bowers, because he's a competitor. He's a true pro, and like I said, I mean, it's scary how good this kid could be.
Game Nuggets is brought to you by Pollo Campero.
Okay, here we go. The Brock Bowers Show continues here with our Game Nuggets. Brock Bowers officially passes Mike Ditka with the most yards by a rookie tight end in NFL history. He's got the Raiders record as well. Raiders have had some great tight ends over the year. I'm thinking Todd Christensen right now. Bowers also has the most catches by a rookie in NFL history. Whoa. He passes Puka Nakua's record from just last season and passes Darren Waller's record for most in Raiders history. Dave Casper, I'm thinking of great Raiders tight ends over the years, certainly. And now he's at the top of the list, just a rookie.
All right, some other notes from the game. How about Jack Jones? Had a pretty good day. 3 pass disruptions here, career high, in addition to his interception. And lastly, the Raiders had, how about this, guys? 0 turnovers, 0 turnovers in that game. But really, we go back to Brock Bowers, and when you think about this guy and his career and what it means going forward. Now, if they can get a quarterback and a better line to protect the quarterback, I think Bowers can just be phenomenal.
Well, absolutely. You got a difference maker as a tight end. You have that Kittle, you have that Kelsey type player now on your team who can create matchup opportunities in your favor. This guy's going to win more often than not, and he's one of those guys that you can rely on. He's smart, intelligent in the sense of he knows football, he knows where he needs to be, knows how to get in the quarterback's vision, and then when the ball comes his way, he's going to fight like hell for it and make things happen after the catch. Athletically, what he brings to the table is, like we talked about earlier, the rare breed of tight ends. Now, this is what they're all looking for, that guy who can be that difference maker on the field.
And with speed, too. I think of George Kittle and what he does for the Niners, and you've been able to watch him closely, certainly, over the years. And he's a guy, like you said, that gets space out there and can get there and make plays out there in the middle and in no man's land.
And big guys like that, they get the ball in their hands, they run angry.
Yeah.
They run pissed off. They're looking for people to run over and use their size, you know, and with that size and speed combination, he puts punishment onto players.
Since we're doing the Brock Bowers show here,
hey, why not?
Let's go ahead and hear from Brock Bowers what he had to say after the game.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's always been like a childhood goal to play in the NFL, obviously, and then to come in here and I mean, be able to catch as many balls as I did and get as many yards as I did. I mean, it's pretty shocking to me, I guess. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I try not to put like goals, like numbers and stuff. I just try to ask myself, like, how can I help the team in the best way as I can? And I mean, just catching the ball when it comes to me. That's kind of what I try to think of. And because I mean, if you're setting like numbers goals, you're like, like I got no clue what to expect coming from college to NFL. So yeah, I'm just trying to help the team.
All right, certainly helping the team. Yeah, in a big way, he's helping the team. He's one of those guys too, Jeff. I don't know if you watched the game, but they had a picture of him going into the game, a video of him. Just got the sweats on, going in, not the big flashy clothes. The kid from Napa is just a humble guy that likes to get it done.
Yeah, he's all about the business on the field. He's not trying to bring extra attention to himself or stand out in any sort of way. He just wants to show up and show what he's made of. And you got to love that about the guy. Just a very humble, bring his lunch pail to work every single day, blue collar type of guy. That's what the Raiders have been made up of throughout many years, decades. Hey, believe me, I grew up a Raider fan growing up in the Bay Area, and you know, they were those blue collar, hey, you better strap it on because they were going to come and hit you and knock you out of your cleats.
Okay, you got time to stick around for a little while?
Absolutely, let's do it.
You've got an appearance you're going to be making at a Niners bar coming up on Monday. We'll talk about that, more about the Raiders and the Bay Area stuff, the connection there. Sports Wrap will be back right after this.